Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be working on this axe. It's a 32 inch, hang on. I guess they consider this a boy's axe, about 27 inch. This is going to be a gift for somebody. So, and it's epoxied. It's not that old. I think they started doing epoxies in the 70s and 80s. Anyways, thing's actually pretty sharp. It's not bad. I got to be careful I don't cut myself on it. They used it more as a hammer. They beat it pretty good. So I'm gonna clean this up. I think I'm just going to use the flat disc. It looks like it was painted black at one time. I can see some black. Anyways, I'm going to clean it up. I'm not going to polish this. I think all I'm going to do is blacken it. I may polish the back end. Boy, there's a bunch of dings and dents on that. Anyways, clean it up, and then I'm gonna clean the head first. That way, I'm not gonna clean the handle till the head's done. Then I can clean this off and then soak this in some linseed oil, because if you can see, the wood is starting to get some small, minute cracks, splits. But that linseed oil, that'll take care of that. I'll just let it soak, let it absorb it in. All right, let's get the flat disc sander. Oh, and I paid $10 for it, which I thought that was pretty fair for an axe. Let's clean this up. Let's see what we can see here. I'll try not to melt my camera lens. I did that once before. Let's see here. Can we get it? I can't see what we can see here. That somebody beat on it. I don't know what they hit. And they curled. This side was kind of rounded over. I still clean that up. Well, they beat on it pretty good. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Nothing fancy. Just cleaned it up with the flat disc. An old flat disc. Probably should have put a new one on. But I think what I'm going to do is polish the top and the back side, and this I'm going to blue, and this bottom down here, it was painted black. You can see the black paint. I'm just going to clean that up the best I can. And as far as I can tell, there's no name, and it is, that's casting marks. You know, back in the day when they made these things, they weren't perfectly smooth. So some of you guys out there that think everything's supposed to be real nice and shiny, perfect, it's a working tool. It never was perfect. That comes from factory. That's not rust pits. That's casting. But this is not a showpiece. I'm going to clean it up, and it'll look good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the fiber wheel. I'm going to run over the fiber wheel and clean some of the scratches. I'm not going to be able to get all the scratches out. I'm not working towards that. Just want a clean one. And I was going to show the bevel on this is cut. It's not perfect. This side is beveled shorter, and this has a longer bevel, which I thought that was kind of interesting. But in the manufacturing process, when they're putting out hundreds or thousands of these at a time, they don't go back and double check everything, the grind on all these. So, but anyways, it'll look good. All right, I don't know if I'm going to run it over the little fiber wheel here. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to use up this fiber wheel. I don't have much left on it. Hang on a second here. Sorry guys, something happened to the camera. I think the SD card, I'm not sure exactly. Just took it apart and now it's working, so oh well. Let's get after this. All right, like I said, I'm just going to polish this part here and this part. I want to run it over this this fiber wheel. This is not a grinding wheel like a hard grinding wheel like this. This is a fiber wheel. I call it Scotch-Brite wheel. I guess I shouldn't call it that, but that's what it reminds me of. I'm not taking all the scratches out. Some of the scratches are deep, but I'm going to blue it, and then I'm going to leave this for last because I'm going to use a file on this, on the blade. I'm just going to leave that like it is. Well, I just thought of something. If I take the bluing on that, I might have to do that first. I don't want to blue this end right here. I want to try to, or I could, I guess, blue it. I'm talking myself out of it. And then I could come back and polish it off. Yeah. Shoot. All right. All right, guys. Somebody asked again. I'm going to say again, this is an 8-inch polishing wheel. I believe this one's from Harbor Freight. That one is from Industrial Supply in town. And, oops, this one's Industrial Supply. The material, the polishing compound, it's just Harbor Freight cheap stuff. I have bought some other stuff online, I'm almost out of it, I think, except for some red rouge. But I like this black or gray or whatever they call it. It works. I'm going to clean my wheel. I'm going to fluff it up with a Sawzall blade. Just clean it up and then hit it with some compound and get started. Nothing super fancy. I just wanted to show you. You can still see some scratches in there. I could get all them out, but there's no need. This is going to be a working tool. The gentleman I'm going to give this to, he's going to love it as it is. He's a big time hunter fisherman, so he already carries one in his truck, but it's a big one. He said he'd rather have a small one, so that's what I got this, and I'm going to gift it to him for a Christmas present. I'll finish polishing it up and then we'll blue it. All right, now polish the butt and the top. I'm going to clean this part up just a little bit. Sprinkle a little carb cleaner on this. Not much. And that's what that is. This head was painted black at one time. Just a little brass brush I'm using here. All right. Yeah, let's see. I guess before I blue this, I probably ought to clean the handle. Probably be a good thing. And look at that. There's mud down on this end. All right, let me take this outside and scrape it with this blade. And then we'll come back and wipe it down real good, clean it real good, and put some linseed oil on it. All right. Handle, I scraped it with the razor knife and then just hit it for about 5 minutes or so, maybe a little less, with 220 sandpaper, just barely. And you can see people have nicked it here and there. There's a couple of nicks back in there, but can't see the camera. Not worried much about that. What I was worried about is these splits that are in the wood. I'm going to linseed oil it real heavily tonight, and then come back every day this week and hit it. Then once a week for a month, and then I'll give it to them. By that time, I'll give this as a Christmas present, but I just wanted to get the handle out of the way. Now I need to blue this, and I'm going to use this stuff, but I got to clean this real good before I blue it. And since I bought a bunch of denatured alcohol, I'll use it instead of my carburetor cleaner. Cost wise, it's about the same. I'd rather use carburetor cleaner because that's what I'm using all the time. Yeah, it's dirty down here on the blade. I'm not cleaning that part of it, or I'm not worried if this gets blue, because I'm going to wind up using a file cleaning this edge up. But let's get all this off. Shouldn't be a whole lot on there. Another clean spot on this towel. I could probably polish this whole thing and make it look better than brand new. You see, there's hardly anything on. But this is going to be a working tool. The gentleman I'm going to give this to is, he's going to use it. All the tools I have given him, he's used the heck out of them. So I like it when I give somebody something and they use it. So, all right. Denatured alcohol dries just as fast as carburetor cleaner. All right, forget where I'm at here. Got some cups. Pour a little bit of this bluing stuff, and I keep from cross-contamination. That's pour it in a cup. I'm going to use a brush. I could probably use cotton ball, but I'm so used to using artist brush. I cut in around the edge. I can do it a lot easier than, anyways, that's what I'm using. So I don't want it to run down the edge. Plus, I don't have any more cotton. I don't have any swabs. It says to set for 30 seconds, I believe. A lot of work. 60 seconds, wipe dry, nearly dry, whatever nearly means, in one pass with a clean towel. And then burnished with some 4 or 1/0 steel wool or finer, and I got 4/0. So apply darkening with a small dampened cotton pad between fingers. Well, I don't have cotton pad. Let's get a clean towel. And these are laundered and sanitized actually. So, and I had to clean up my shop. Been so busy. These 15-hour days are starting to kick my butt. Not having enough time off. Nearly, okay, whatever. That's nearly. Some 4/0 steel wool. I wonder if I can use oil with this. I wonder, I wish I had some cotton. Darn it. Oh well. Only cotton. I got an old piece. Let's see if I've got anything else I could use. Well, shoot. I don't have nothing. All right, back to punting. It's really not taking any darker. I like this stuff better than that birchwood, birchwood. It's okay. I think this stuff's better. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of channel locks, take them apart and halve them, and then use one on each side and see how that works. There's no name on this axe. Had a lot of Texas dirt on it though. There's that side, there's the blue side. I know I'm probably not doing this correctly. Metal was clean. It was roughed up. But I really don't care because the main reason is this is a good working tool. This is not an art piece, a show piece. It's not something that's going to hang on the wall. More than likely, this is going to wind up in his pickup truck behind the seat or right by the seat. And that's where it's going to stay until he uses it, which is fine. I do very few tools as trophies. The Boker pliers, wire cutters I did the other day. That's a trophy piece for me. I'm gonna do one more time. I don't think it's taken anymore. If anything, it's bluing it. Oh man, this video might be a little long, but I want to show just, you guys can fast forward what you don't like. Ain't no big deal to me. I just try to show you what I do, and if somebody wants to see something, they might get something out of it. Let it sit. See, it doesn't take as much the third time as it did the first time. Now, okay, it's 3 coats, and actually, I can't tell if it's really darkening it. I've got a lot of light in my shop. It's really bright in here. All right, guys. There's that side that's blued, that side that's not. And I'll finish this up and show you what we get. Well, I probably ought to, yeah, I ought to touch that blade up. You know, I didn't realize there's a nick in the blade right there. Huh. Okay, let me finish bluing it and we'll be back. Alright guys, just show you. I'm going to redneck this. I'm just going to file. Change files. I don't think this I don't think this axe was ever used because I can still see the markings from when they manufactured it. All right. Grab another file. One, that's too strong. There is rust down in there. All right, I just want to show you what I'm doing there, and then after I get this cleaned up, I'm gonna put it on the fiber wheel and then go back over it with hone stone. All right, it's not going to be, I don't need it real super sharp. I think the way it was explained to me, if you got it so sharp that you can cut the hairs on your arm with it, you can, when the first time you use it, you fold that edge over. I believe, I have to look it up, but I believe the forestry service, the fire teams, they carry a file on them, and when they're working, they file them as they go. They just use a file. They don't have fancy hones and fancy power equipment to carry a file on them, and that's how they use, how they sharpen theirs in the field. But anyways, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told. I'll come back in a little bit. All right. Let's see here. Look at how that handle turned out. And that's just 2 coats of linseed oil. Man, this thing is smooth. Oh, it turned out great. So I'll put, it's 2 coats today. Tomorrow, when I come back from work, I'll put another coat on, and then I'll put a coat on every day this week. Today's Sunday. I'm gonna put a coat of wax on it. If anybody asks, that's the wax I use. I'm not selling it. It's not. I don't have anything on my channel. I'm just letting you guys know because somebody will ask. That turns out great. Now let's finish. Let's do the top and this back. I really should let this bluing dry a little longer. All right. Guys, 3 coats of bluing, and I polished the top. I hope you guys can see that. I can't see what you guys can see in the camera. Sorry. The back, and it, if you look real close, you can see if I can point it out. That is in the metal. That's not scratched, that's forging. The little lines, that right there, which I don't know, I'm fascinated by that. And look, right here you can see when it was made, you can see how the metal, I don't know if that's folded. I don't think it is. I think that's something to do with the mold. Has to be. And I tried to blue it down here a little bit, but I didn't do a very good job right there. And I just left this black. This part here, this head was painted black from the factory, I'm pretty sure. But it'll be a good Christmas present. I hope it looks good to me. I'm pretty happy with it. The handles, and I'm not going to do anything but linseed oil. I'm just going to leave it like that. the splinter or the rough texture that was on it when I scraped it with that knife and then just hit it with that 220 for a few minutes. I just hand sanded, and it did do really nothing to it. And now the linseed oil, I'm just going to leave it like that. I like the color, I like the way it looks. Yeah, it is an injected molding. It's not a, it's not a 100-year-old axe, but this is a good working tool. That's what it's for. I carry an axe in every one of my vehicles. It's not only is it a tool, but it's also a safety tool. I've rescued somebody with an axe before. I don't know if they survived or not, but it's a pretty bad story. Anyways, carry an axe with you. You never know when you need it, and I have one in every one of my vehicles. There you go. Not bad for a $10 bill. I got maybe, let's say an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes in it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you like my video. Tell me what you think. I bring you guys along when I refurbish these things. This is it's rescued. It's not a piece of art. It's not something that's going to be hanging on the wall. The gentleman I'm going to give this to, he's going to use it. He'll probably use the hell out of it, which that's fine. That's what it's for. Tools are made to be used. Very few tools should be trophies and hung on the wall. But there you go. Y'all have a good evening now. Thanks.